Hi and welcome back. My name's Faye and I run Faye Well Photography. I'm a UK-based wedding photographer shooting all over the world, and I'm sat in my car because my 4-year-old child has got the zoomies and he's making so much noise, and I tried to record this in my office but he was just having none of it. He just wants mama today. So he's very safely in the capable hands of his lovely dad, and I'm out here talking to you all about my course Align. Let's ignore the fact that I've just spent like 2 weeks repainting my studio to make these videos because it's all fine, and if that doesn't sum up parent life then I don't know what will. So I'm here to talk about my course Align. We've just done the pilot. It finishes tomorrow with the final Zoom, which means that the first official run of Align is going live soon. When you are thinking about investing in your business, especially something like this compared to a traditional style shoot, it's probably because there's something in you that's not quite satisfied with where you're at in your business. It might be that you are looking at your portfolio and you're not proud. That's something that's been coming up quite a lot of cohort 1. It might be that you're getting leads but you're not getting enough of them. You're worried about bookings for next year, comfortable with your finances at the moment and you just want a little bit more security. It might be that you're unhappy with how much time that you've got for fun stuff. Everybody's got a different reason. I grew up as a young carer, so free time is something that I've just never had. I worked whilst I was doing my GCSEs and then my A-levels. When I left home to go to uni, I was very much in that mindset of I'd never known what it was like to have an abundance of free time. So until I had Frank, basically, all throughout my 20s, I just worked a lot. And not for a lot of money at all. Like, I had lots and lots of little jobs that helped me to go travelling, that helped me to do this, that helped me to do that. And that was very much just my normal. It was what I knew. It wasn't until I had my little boy, something about having Frank made me realise that the way that I was living my life just wasn't sustainable. I tried to make a few changes and then ended up burning out again, because like anything, when you try something new and it's not a habit, you do revert back to your old ways quite quickly. And I probably tried to introduce more balance and slow things down quite a few different ways in a few different fonts over the years. And it did take me a really long time to figure out what I needed to change and how I was going to change it to be able to get to where I am now. I honestly think that if you don't know what you want from life, it's really, really hard to know what your business needs to look like to facilitate that life. And I think sometimes we do all this work and we do these portfolio builders and we create this content, but there's not enough thought into the why. So we're just doing all these nice things. We're going through the rat race. We're doing all this stuff. We're showing up. We're spending money. We're creating all this great content. But then there's still this discontent and we don't really understand where that's coming from. And I was there. I remember the first few years, I did hundreds of shoots, hundreds and hundreds. I was generating income, I was generating clients, I was getting bookings, I was doing all the things and getting all the results that I thought I wanted, but there was just something still not quite right. I think the biggest shift for me has been realising where the joy comes from. So really sitting with what's making me happy, recognising when I'm starting to feel burnt out and what those triggers might have been to get me to that space. There's so many different ways that go into it. But in part 1 of Align, I'm sharing those lessons with you, but also asking you the right questions to really get you to do that deep dive yourself and figure out what it is that you need, not just from your business, but from life itself. And that sounds so woo as I say that. And I feel like I'm trying to be some sort of guru or something, but I'm not. But Align was basically informed by loads and loads of mentoring with lots of different photographers at all different stages of their career with different pain points, and Align has been made based on and informed by the things that have had the biggest impact when I've done one-to-one mentoring. So module 1 is all about finding your why. It's that holistic deep dive into what you want from life, what you want your business to look like, what you need to be able to earn to facilitate that, how much time you're able to give your business while still respecting the other responsibilities and desires that you have in your life. And then once we've sort of done that and we've got more of an understanding about our driving forces and what we want, as we move into curating, it's going to be so much easier to curate the right portfolio because you've got that why in mind. That being said, module 2 is an extra deep dive into curation, all the different factors. For module 2, we had the amazing planner, Verity from the Fjord Collective, come in. It was incredible. You can see some sneak peeks on YouTube. I'll link below. And for module 2, we've got another amazing planner and I cannot wait for the guests to get to meet her. It's going to be amazing. And then when we go on to module 3, so we've done done the why, we've done everything about the curation, which I think as a wedding professional is the most important thing, because your portfolio is your shop front, it's your CV, it's what's getting people to connect with your work and decide that they need you for their wedding. But not just anyone, the right people. So we've gone through module 1 and module 2. Module 3 is going to be so much more impactful because you've done that initial work. So module 3 is about lead generation and how to maximise the reach of all the hard work that you've put in, how to get those pictures in front of the right people to encourage them to work with you, basically. I'm talking through literally everything that I do. There'll be a lot of stuff in there that you won't have thought about, but that's the way that I'm able to nurture so many inquiries, and it will be covering things like ads, but it'll also be covering the day-to-day stuff like how you can maximise your conduct at a wedding to encourage supplier referrals, venue referrals, you can do in your extracurricular time or downtime to nurture those relationships further, how you can enhance your client journey every step of the way to make sure that your clients think that they are getting the absolute best service ever, that no one could ever top their photographer, and then they want to go and shout about you from the rooftops because they literally think you're the best thing since sliced bread. And spoiler alert, all of my success, I put 98%, if not more, on the fact that I've always just prioritised giving my clients the best possible service and trying my hardest for my clients. Like, no one can ever bring you down if you know that your number one is to absolutely exceed expectations. And that's something that's always followed me throughout my entire life. Now, at this stage, the Feywild workshops have got a really good name for themselves. I think it's very clear just by looking at the level of detail that go into the Feywild workshops that I am an absolute perfectionist, and I really want everything that I do to be as amazing as it could be. And I think it speaks volumes. I can put my hand on my heart and say the impact of a line is far greater than any of the workshops that I've ever done. And the workshops are my absolute pride and joy. I'm so proud of everything that we've achieved over the years, the relationships that I've nurtured with the suppliers, the sort of accolades that I've got on the back of the workshops, the relationships that I've been able to develop, the people that I've got to meet, the fact that my work has been featured all over the world, and I'm still prouder of this course. And that sounds so bold to say, but the conversations that I'm having in the WhatsApp group, so alongside the workbook, you're invited to a WhatsApp group for the duration of the course. And in that WhatsApp group, we're chatting every day. It's been popping off. And I will say at this point that I encourage people to actually mute that group chat and mute all notifications and everything, because I think one of the hardest things about being a human in the 21st century is notifications. Like, you can't really maintain focus on any one thing when your phone's popping off and telling you to be here, there and everywhere. And I definitely don't want the course in any way to add noise to your life. I want it to be something that's there, a lovely welcoming space where you can jump in with any questions that you've got. But very organically, that community has emerged, and we're like, you'd think it's a bit like when people go on Love is Blind and you're like, how have they fallen in love in like 2 seconds? But the amount that we're speaking every day, the relationships that are coming out of it, I'm genuinely so proud of it. And there's no way that a styled shoot or a workshop could ever have the same impact as what we've nurtured in a line. It's just been so special. So it's coming to the end of module 3. Some teasers are going to start coming out this week about the guests for the next one. One of them in particular, I squealed out loud. I couldn't believe that I'd bagged them. Just because the other two I'm really friendly with, but this person I didn't know. And when I reached out, it was a long shot. When they said yes, I was absolutely thrilled. Like, I literally squealed and was like, oh my God, you've made my day. The guests are looking amazing. I'm so excited to, not just for the next cohort of aligners to learn from them, but I'm excited to learn from them too. And I think it speaks volumes that I'm really excited about the value that I'm going to get as well, because I think you never stop learning as a creative. I'm really, really happy with this space that we've created to learn together. Even going through the workbooks and stuff over the last few weeks, the stuff that I'm thinking, I've not done that for a while, I'm going to go back and do that. The amount of work that's gone into the workbook, nothing is there by accident. I was a teacher for a long time. I taught languages, which are really famously hard to learn. I loved making learning as fun and dynamic as possible. And there's really been a bit of my soul that's come back to life, developing these workbooks for the workshoppers and then seeing how well received as well. So I'll be sharing loads of stuff over Instagram and the mailing list via Feywild Education. The best thing to do if you want to be in with a chance of getting a space, because the spaces are going to be really limited just because of that group and also the Zooms, I want to make sure that it's a nice small group, because I feel like too many people, it'll take away that safety net of feeling like you can say whatever you want. I'm so excited. The best thing that you could do right now is head to Fae World Education and join the mailing list. Thank you for being here. Thank you if you've already subscribed. I appreciate it so much. I'm putting so much time into YouTube this year and it feels really exciting, like terrifying to be showing up and doing something new, but also just so grateful. I've been getting like lovely DMs. I even had an email the other day. Someone took the time to find my email address and send me an email saying that they'd appreciated my content, and it made me feel like I was back into like teacher Fae life, and I'm really, really enjoying it. As we know, it's wedding season soon, so this is definitely going to be the last chance to join a line this side of wedding season. I'm not sure whether it's going to come back before Christmas. I'm hoping so. It just depends on how busy I am with weddings, because my wedding couples are always my number one priority. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments and I'll get back to you ASAP. Thank you so much.